She's almost done. She's about to file for divorce. What do you do when you've pushed her to the edge? Welcome back to the Secure Husband Podcast. Bruce Abbott, certified professional coach, founder of SecureHusband.com, a podcast that we created to help men lead their lives and their marriages with strength and security and self-respect. I wanted to do this episode because I have a coaching client who's right there. This is almost an emergency action plan for him. And it made me think about what I need to share when you get to that critical moment, when it seems like this is almost done. And if you're in that situation and you've been listening a while, you've heard me talk about how healing is what really needs to happen for a marriage to heal. And you may be trying to do this and things are just unraveling around you. And you're here because your wife is almost done. You may have heard, I love you, but I'm not in love with you anymore, or I don't feel anything anymore, or I'm exhausted, or I don't think this is working, or I don't know if I want to keep trying. But she hasn't walked out the door yet. The papers aren't signed yet. Yeah, her eyes don't light up anymore, and her texts are cold, and there's no touch, and there's no warmth, and there's no desire, because you pushed her away, maybe slowly, maybe through criticism or distance or control or neediness or emotional chaos. It may be through 1,000 paper cuts, just years of neglect and passivity, shutting down. And now you see it. Now you want to change. There is still a sliver of hope. But I got to tell you, the window is small and the clock is ticking. So this episode, this is your emergency action plan. This is not theory. This is what to do right now. Because what you need to do is you need to lead, and lead like never before. Emotional leadership, spiritual integrity, emotional, relational clarity. And it has to start this very minute. So understand, it's not over until it's over, but this is your wake-up call. She has given you the wake-up call. She has given you the message. And it may not be the end, but it is the last chance to stop doing what's been pushing her away. So if you're in the middle of panic or heartbreak or desperation right now, first thing you need to do is take a deep breath. Just breathe. Because yeah, you may have pushed her to the edge, but right now what matters more than what you did is what you do next. Because if there's still a spark of hesitation in her, if she hasn't packed her bags, if she's still in the house, if she hasn't gone to the lawyer, if you're not looking at divorce papers sitting on the kitchen table right now, and if she's still talking, even if it may not be warm and affectionate, there's still time. But this is not the time to try to convince. This is the time for you to change. And it's not change to get her back. It's change because you finally realized you were never leading yourself well in the first place, and she was caught in the casualty. This is why I get so passionate about the Secure Husband process, because I want to save marriages. So just stop, take a breath. The first thing you need to do is stop the bleeding. So right now, everything in you wants to plead and apologize profusely and send these long, emotional, verbal vomit texts and demand answers and ask, do you love me? And try to fix it overnight. You just got to pause and breathe, because right now she doesn't need words. She needs evidence. And the first thing you've got to do is stop doing the things that push her away immediately. This includes defensiveness, guilt tripping, over-apologizing, begging, trying to logic her back into the marriage, telling her she needs to change too, or putting pressure on her to feel something for you right now. Just stop doing those things right now. Instead, this is what you say. Honey, I realize I've hurt you, not just by what I did, but by how long I didn't see it. I don't expect you to trust me just because I'm saying this today. I'm not here to push or convince you. I'm here to change how I show up for myself, for you, for this family, regardless of how things turn out. And then say nothing more. That's leadership. That's safety. She needs something that she can trust. She needs something she can connect to. And that's the first step of healing. And you're probably going to be scared to death. You'll probably be feeling a lot of fear. But this is where you have to be courageous. If you want to save your marriage and save your family, you have to own it without collapsing. You have to be courageous in the face of fear. And owning your role doesn't mean groveling. It means standing up emotionally and saying, I take full responsibility for how I've hurt you, not just by what I said or didn't say, but by who I wasn't, how I wasn't leading, and I'm not here to shift blame. I'm here to change. This is all about me. No defensiveness. No, but you did this too. No, we both have things to work on. No, Yes, your wife may have things that she needs to work on, but that's her burden. She has to do that. You have to address you and your healing. Just taking full ownership with grounded energy and not collapsing. Do not collapse. Do not fall apart in front of her. Do not make her comfort you through your guilt. That's not leadership. That's emotional codependency. Instead, you take your grief and your confusion to your higher power. You take it to God, to a coach, to your journal, to trusted men, to the universe, whatever divine guidance you have that is the source of love and courage and worth. That's where you take your confusion and your emotions to, not her. She needs to feel like you're finally leading yourself, because you haven't been able to lead your marriage or lead your family because you haven't been able to lead yourself. And it's not that you're weak, you're just wounded. So in this moment, this crisis, this is where you finally start to wake up spiritually, because you have to connect to this higher guidance. I used to always tell myself, God, take this because I have screwed it up on my own. Because the truth is, you don't know what to do next. You don't know how to fix this. You've been trying. You've been doing this and that and saying this and doing that and reading this book and this podcast, and then logic has run out. You've got less than a second left on the clock. What are you going to do for your final play? You have to go deeper than your fear, and you reach out to that higher power. God, universe, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm ready to stop being who I was. Show me how to become the man I was made to be. And you say that with every ounce of honesty and authenticity in your body. And you ask for wisdom greater than your own. Ask, help me walk in truth and presence, even if she never changes. Because this is where inner peace begins. It's not when the marriage is fixed, but when you realize you're no longer living from your wounds. You start living from love and from purpose and from higher guidance. Then you start healing that inner wound that drove the damage. Because the truth is, most of what drove your behavior, the defensiveness and the criticism, the control, the neediness, the emotional shutting down, all of those things, the rage and anger, resentment, that was because you're not a bad person, you're just wounded. It's all because of unhealed inner pain that started way before you were married. Maybe your wife's distance triggered your fear of rejection. Maybe her criticism touched your old shame. Maybe your perfectionism came from never feeling enough growing up. You've been reacting from your wounded self, not your wise self, and you have been running this marriage the entire time from that wounded little boy. And now it's time to meet that inner boy who was ignored and rejected, who was criticized or emotionally neglected and shamed for expressing needs and couldn't stand up for himself. And you show up for him now when he had nobody to show up for him back then. And you say, hey buddy, I'm so sorry you were alone for so long. I know you just wanted to be loved, but we don't need to prove anything anymore. I've got you now. And then you let that universe, God, the divine, come and speak to him. You are loved. You are chosen. You are worthy. You're no longer defined by your wife's affection or lack of it. And when you start changing the energy inside of you, you start changing the energy in your marriage, healing from the inside out, because you are at a critical moment. You are at a fork in the road. You are at what could be the very end of your marriage. And now you build. You take daily action to become the man you were meant to be. This is the part that makes her feel something new, because chances are likely, deep in her heart, she really doesn't want to end the marriage, but she feels like she has no choice. Deep inside, she wishes this all would have worked out. Deep inside, she was rooting for you all along, but you didn't show up. And this is your last chance. So stop just talking and start doing. Stop doing the things that we talked about before. Stop reacting. Create structure and stability and calm in your home. Lead your kids with warmth and strength. Lead yourself with clarity and not neediness and controlling. Get into a community with men who are doing this work. Invest in coaching and prayer, therapy, all three. Because this isn't for her approval. It's because this is who you were always meant to be. This is who she wanted the whole time. This is who she thought she was marrying. And now when she starts to see you act from this grounded place, maybe her nervous system will start to recalibrate. And maybe she'll start thinking, maybe I'll give it one more shot. I'm not sure what's going on with him, but this feels different. He's not reacting as much. He's not getting angry and rageful. He's able to communicate with me in a calm way. Maybe, I don't know, maybe there's something still here. That's the shift. And it's not through pressure. It's through presence. It's through becoming secure. And you stay grounded, even if she stays cold. And this is probably going to be your toughest test. It's where most men will probably crumble. Because here's what's happening. You're changing, and you feel hopeful, and you expect a quick response. But she's still cold. She's still distant. She's still unsure. She doesn't know if she can trust you because she's wanted to trust you, and it hasn't worked out. And until those papers are signed, you still show up and lead. And you might be tempted to think, why bother? She's already said we're done. But it's not over until it's over. And this is when you dig in and stay steady. And you lead regardless of her energy. And you don't do it in a cold, detached way, but in a grounded, peaceful way. You're really not leading to get her back. You're leading because this is who you've chosen to become. And over time, that consistent energy, that calm, non-reactive, self-led strength becomes undeniable, no matter what happens. But it gives you a fighting chance. She may not say it right away, but she'll feel it. It's not 100% guarantee that she'll stay, but it's the best shot you have of saving your marriage and your family. And whether this marriage is revived or eventually comes to an end, you will have become the man that you always wanted to be. So this is your emergency action plan. If your wife is almost gone and she's emotionally checked out, if she's not sure if she wants to stay, it's not over till it's over. There's still time, but it's not time to convince. It's not time to beg. It's not time to wait and hope. It's time to lead. It's time to change, and it's time to heal. And that's what becoming a secure husband is all about. It's more than saving your marriage. You're saving yourself. I hope this podcast was helpful to you. If so, please give me a review, hit that subscribe button for more Secure Husband episodes, and share this episode with someone who you think may need to hear it. You can visit securehusband.com for more information or to book one-on-one coaching with me. And I'm saying a prayer for you guys. I hope that your marriage does work out. I'll see you again on the next Secure Husband podcast. Thanks for listening.